The narrator enters showing that ordinary stickman sitting on a simple sofa, scrolling through the cell phone feed. The screen flashes with seductive advertisements: buy this and be happy. Get rich and you'll never get in trouble again. The perfect life starts here. It's as if the algorithm itself has figured out the secret password to your mind, and he believes. The illusion begins like this: the promise that happiness is hidden in some virtual shopping cart or just a few extra zeros on the bank statement. The stickman begins to daydream. He sees himself driving gleaming luxury cars, walking through huge mansions with impeccable gardens, landing smiling on paradisiacal journeys with glasses of champagne in hand. Everything looks perfect, like an uncut commercial. But slowly, the details reveal invisible cracks. The mansion, which is supposed to bring peace, turns into a silent prison full of bills to pay, endless maintenance and solitude in gigantic, cold corridors. The dream car, which promised freedom, only serves to get stuck in traffic along with thousands of others. And that luxury trip? It ends up reduced to a forced photo made only to post on social networks, hiding behind boredom and the feeling of emptiness. The narrator then teases, in an acid tone, was this really what you wanted? Or did you just fall into the trap of thinking that happiness has a price tag and a golden barcode? The stickman now appears at a frenetic pace, working non-stop. He runs from one side to the other, carrying piles of papers, answers dozens of emails, faces meetings that drag on into the night. He truly believes that every penny more will be the key to the freedom he dreams of. But the scene begins to take on absurd contours. Every time he receives a new banknote, a thick chain appears and wraps around his body. The more he earns, the more imprisoned he gets. The weight of the chains bends him. His steps slow, but he still insists, thinking he is advancing. The narrator ironizes freedom. That word has already disappeared from your dictionary. You've swapped dinner with family for another Zoom meeting. You've traded laughter with friends for endless spreadsheets. You've traded mental health for unattainable goals that never end. The stickman tries to break free, but each increase, each bonus, each new promise of success adds another invisible chain. The contrast is clear and cruel. He believed he would own his own life, but in practice he became a slave to the idea of accumulating, living in a cycle of endless effort. The narrator concludes, in a firm tone, the problem is not in making money. The problem is that you think that your happiness depends solely on it. And in this game, no matter how hard you run, you're never going to win, because the finish line always moves a little further away. Now the stickman appears surrounded by an endless pile of objects. He sinks into a huge sofa while the living room is crammed with giant TVs he never has. Time to watch designer clothes he wears, only wants to post a photo, and new cell phones that arrive every month, replacing the old ones he hasn't even taken out of plastic yet. The narrator enters in a sarcastic tone, laughing lightly. Look, you bought the limited edition. Congratulations. But where's the unlimited edition of peace in your head? It didn't come together in the box, right? With each purchase, the stickman opens a wide smile, but it only lasts seconds, soon being replaced by a blank and tired look. The cycle repeats itself endlessly. Desire, purchase, momentary relief, emptiness. It is the true show of the absurd, a play where the applause never comes, but the credit card bill arrives without fail. To make matters worse, the other stickmen around are in the same insane race, vying to see who boasts the most, who has the brightest car, the most expensive watch, the most Instagrammable trip. It's a competition with no winners, only tired losers. The narrator reinforces, this race has no finish line. It's an eternal marathon where the medal is just a bigger and bigger void wrapped in store bags. And here the narrator provokes again, directly with the audience. If you have also noticed this absurdity, subscribe now to the channel and keep following the next episodes. Because here, we dismantle the lies that sell window happiness and show the truth that no one wants to tell. The stickman now appears trying, in every way, to take advantage of what he bought. With so much effort, he gets into the luxury car, accelerates with excitement. But soon the engine malfunctions and the car stops in the middle of the street, surrounded by horns. Frustrated, he returns to his gigantic mansion, imagining a perfect home. But when he opens the door, he sees buckets scattered on the floor. The rain runs down the cracks in the ceiling, turning the room into a pool of leaks. Trying to distract himself, he grabs the brand new cell phone that he barely took out of the box, only to find that a more advanced version has already been released. And suddenly the top of the line already seems outdated. The happiness he hoped for never comes. It's like a flame that goes out before it even lights up. The narrator, in an acid tone, blurts out, "You spent so much, planned so much, worked so hard, and what did he get in return? Frustration in high definition, with the right to an extended warranty of disappointment. There are no refunds for this purchase." The scene becomes even more symbolic. Everything that should bring joy is transformed into weight, into a reminder that nothing has actually bought inner peace. Here the message becomes crystal clear. The promise that happiness automatically comes with more money unravels even before it materializes. Like sand running down your hands, the narrator delivers the final blow. The real flame of happiness is not for sale. And when you try to buy it, you find that it goes out too quickly. And before continuing, the narrator turns to the audience, "And you? Have you ever been through this? Of conquering something that seemed to be the pinnacle and just feeling empty? Tell us here in the comments, because your story can open the eyes of many people." The stickman now appears trapped in a suffocating loop. He pays off a credit card, breathes a sigh of relief for a second, but soon another giant bill falls on his desk. Then comes an advertisement for a new desire, something he needs to have. To be happy? A more modern cell phone, a brighter car, a more expensive outfit. To afford this, he works even harder, accumulating pressure, sleepless nights, and a heart racing with anxiety. It's like you're stuck on a treadmill at the gym, running in place, exhausted but unable to stop. The narrator, with cutting sarcasm, shoots, "Congratulations! You thought you were buying happiness, but you actually signed a lifelong plan of stress and anxiety. The debit is automatic, and the collection never fails." Oh, and forget it. There is no button to cancel subscription. The stickman looks around, trying to find a way out, but realizes that he is not alone in this trap. All around, hundreds of other stickmen run in the same loop, paying the same invisible subscription. Some carry shopping bags, others worksheets, but all with the same tired expression. The scene makes it clear that the problem is not just individual, it is collective. The illusion that more money equals more happiness is sold as if it were a universal product, but the price is always higher than promised. It costs peace, time, and even health. Basically, no one escapes unscathed from this endless race. The inevitable moment comes when the exhausted stickman stops in front of everything he has accumulated throughout his life. He looks around and sees the expensive car parked in the garage, the gigantic mansion with its cold and silent corridors, the objects piled up like trophies of a competition he never quite understood. But when he observes everything, he perceives emptiness. There are no laughter echoing in the house. There are no sincere hugs. There is no time to enjoy anything you have built. There is only him, alone. The narrator, now in a more serious and reflective tone, enters the scene. The final fall is realizing that you confused success with happiness. You ran after things so much that you forgot what really matters. People, time, health, purpose, and when you realize it, you've already spent years of your life in an endless search for something that has never been sold on shelves. The image shows the stickman sitting on the floor, surrounded by useless luxury, holding his head in despair, while the surrounding scenery begins to slowly crumble as if it were made of paper. The car cracks, the mansion collapses, the objects dissolve into dust. What remains is only the emptiness of a misdirected life. It is in this cruel contrast that the message becomes clear. There is no point in filling your hands with achievements if the heart remains empty. The narrator then guides the scene to a decisive point. The stickman stands in front of two huge doors. To his left, a golden door that shines brightly, covered in shimmering dollar signs and promises of luxury. It's flashy, almost mesmerizing, as if screaming, "Here's the happiness you're looking for." But behind it, you can hear the sounds of chains, the noise of card machines, and an empty echo that reveals the trap. To the right, there is a simple, almost discreet wooden door, marked only by symbols of family, friends, health, and balance. There is no glitter, there is no ostentation, but there is heat. Out of it comes soft laughter, light music, and the feeling of peace that the stickman has never experienced. The narrator says, in a firm tone, "In the end, the choice was always there. The door of infinite money never leads to the happiness you seek. The door of what is priceless, This one can give you what no bank balance can buy. The stickman hesitates, looks at one and then at the other, torn between illusory promise and true simplicity. The narrator rehooks, "What now? Will you continue to believe that the next banknote will bring happiness, or will it finally open the door you have always ignored?" The scene freezes in this dilemma, leaving the audience to reflect. And then, the narrator invites, "If this message made sense to you, click now on the video that is playing on the screen." There, you will discover another myth about happiness that needs to be debunked before it is too late.